my Premier League Game Week 2 predictions. Hello guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today I'm going to be doing my Game Week 2 of the Premier League predictions. You may be wondering, where's the guest, James? It's 11 o'clock, and yeah, so I don't think we're going to get a guest again like we did in the Championship. I did literally just get back from holiday, so we have that in the way. So yeah, I just came back about 5 hours ago, so I don't find anyone in time. So yeah, it's just going to be, it's my predictions. So we start off with Aston Villa versus Everton. You know, Villa did not get off to a good start. 2-0 loss to Bournemouth, which is a bit, you know, iffy. It is pretty poor from a Villa's point of view, but it's hard with Villa because I don't rate their manager. And I said it in my predictions, and now some Villa fans are starting to say it. Gerrard is just not a good manager. And yeah, well, he may have done it well at Rangers in the Scottish League, which is literally Rangers v Celtic. Rangers already had a decent team. Yeah, you could say Gerrard brought in some really good players, which I do agree with. He brought in some phenomenal players. He brought in Coutinho back to the Premier League, which is brilliant, and then got him on a long-term deal. He signed him fully. Diego Carlos he signed, and the main thing is, and Kamara, the main thing is he brought them in early to get the pre-season ready for them, so he knows they know all the tactics. Here's my hair, man. I'm getting it cut tomorrow. Yeah, so Villa, yes, interesting. Everton though, just losing 1-0 to Chelsea. Not a bad result. I think it could be the worst. But Villa won't be happy. I don't think Everton will, but I think they're missing it's Godfrey. I think they're missing Godfrey with that really bad injury he caught up with Chelsea against Chelsea. So I think they're missing Godfrey. I think in that Everton game, I think the main players to watch out in these two games. I think what the main player for Villa have to go probably Coutinho, and then with Everton, I think Gordon's pretty underrated. I think, yeah, loads of Everton fans rate him, but he's still, you know, I hear a lot of fans saying Gordon's like good. He is good, gotta rate him, he's young. This game's got stalemate all written all over it. Oh, not stalemate, but like a 1-1 draw. It's got a 1-1 draw written all over it. It won't be a bad point for Villa, and it won't be a bad point for Everton, but yeah, interesting. Moving on to the next game, which is Southampton versus Leeds. Two teams on the opposite, Leeds with a win, Southampton with a loss. And guess where I predicted? I predicted 20th. They are 20th. I just like to take that, there, because they won't finish 20th. They'll finish somewhere like 14th. Leeds, really good start to the season. I did predict Leeds to do well, and if they keep doing what they're doing, I think they will do well. I think that's a really good start for Leeds United. They've got a lot of slat on them. They've got a lot loads of people say not going to do well. They get relegated. They're not brilliant. Sogden, and I think Rory, both of them, they predicted Leeds to go down. Loads of people predicted Leeds to go down. Jack predicted Leeds to go down. I think Tippin did as well. No, didn't actually. I think that's one. But yeah, a lot of people Leeds just to go down. They still could. It is only the first game of the season. It's not ahead of Leeds itself. But Leeds United, not a bad side. They're not a bad side. You've got Dan James to watch out. They've got a few really good signings in last season. You know, Rodrigo Moreno, he's a good player. Leeds are a strong side, and you've got to watch out for them. And Southampton just coming off a 4-1 defeat. You can't say anything. They got Brendan Harrison, Tyler Adams, Mark Roca, Patrick Bamford, Christensen, Ramus, Dan James. they got some really good players, and this Southampton team, I just see Leeds winning this game. I don't see Southampton picking up any points here and there. I'm going to go for Southampton 0, Leeds United 2. And yeah, I think, you know, Leeds are just the better side, the better quality side. And yeah, should we move on to... Alright, Arsenal versus Leicester. Very interesting game. Leicester threw a 2-goal lead against Brentford. Is Brentford their strong side? Yeah, I get it, but still, dropping 2 points is not brilliant. And Arsenal off to a flyer. 2-0 win over Palace. That's a hard game. First game Friday. First game of the season. First game of the whole season. You know, you've got a lot of pressure on you, and they've done well. They beat Palace 2-0. Comfortable result. Comfortable win. Did not look like dropping a point. They look like winning. They look like a strong side. I don't see Arsenal dropping any points here. They shouldn't drop any points here. But you know, Leicester have got some decent players. I think they've kept James Maddison so far, which is huge. They've got Jamie Vardy. Tillemans is brilliant. Daka if they need him. One player though who I think has succeeded is Keenan Drewsbury Hall. I think he's a proper player to watch out for. And but Arsenal just look too good in a way of Leicester. I think Leicester dropped down a lot recently. This season won't be too easy. This season will be hard. But, no, trying to get top 10 is going to be difficult for Leicester. I'm going to go Arsenal 3, Leicester 1. Arsenal have the quality, have the confidence, and they're just running with it right now, and they should win. They should get a win here. Moving on to Brighton versus Newcastle. 2 teams won last week. 2 teams who won quite comfortably. I think Brighton, yeah, they only won 2-1, but still, you know, Man United are awful. Should be comfortable, but you know, Newcastle convincing 2-0 win over Forest. I don't see, you know, they look really good. I think Callum Wilson is a strong player, or Alexander Maximin is a very good player as well. Joe Linton has absolutely just thrown through the roof being in midfield. He's a fantastic midfielder. From striker to, he's gone down to cam, I think. He's wiggling past these Forest defenders. Phenomenal. I think this Newcastle side is very good. Fabian Schär with an absolute screamer, and then Callum Wilson with a nice little flick over the keeper. 2 very nice, tidy finishes. And they just did not look worrying against Forest. I know it's Forest, but still, you know, you've got to, you know, get off to a good start. You know, you're at St James's Park. You've got to get off to a good start. You've got to win. And Newcastle did just that. Fantastic for Newcastle. I didn't see too much pressure. I don't think, you know, Newcastle going into that game favourites and they won it. Brighton on the other hand, what a win against Man United. I know it's Man United and dripping down a little bit, slumping down a lot. But to go away at Old Trafford, I think it was away. At Old Trafford and get a 2-1 win is unheard of. It's fantastic from Brighton. That's how much they've grown under Graham Potter. They've grown as a team. You know, Dunk is playing well. It's just a strong side. And they do just look phenomenal. You know, Grob is looking very good. Welbeck is teasing the United defence. And if it wasn't for the Alex McAllister's own goal, that would have been a 2-0 win at Old Trafford. It's just brilliant to see from Brighton. And you think back a few years ago, that wouldn't have happened, right? You know, Man United were actually decent a few years ago. But, you know, that wouldn't have happened. Brighton wouldn't have the balls to do that. And then well done to Brighton. This game is very, very close to call. I'm going to go Brighton 1, Newcastle 2. I don't want to go for a boring draw. I think Brighton will sneak a win. It'll be close, but I think Brighton will sneak a win. No, Newcastle even, my bad. Newcastle 2-1. Moving on to Manchester City, Bournemouth, and both teams who did win last week, and it's both teams who looked quite good last week, but it's Manchester City. You know, we all doubted Haaland when he missed that thing in the the Community Shield final, open goal. But no, he goes and scores 2 goals against West Ham away to win Man City 2-0 against West Ham, which is a very strong result to stamp the authority on the season, which I didn't because Tottenham did. But Manchester City, they look very good. Haaland looks brilliant. Kevin De Bruyne with the pass to Haaland, he looks brilliant. Foden looks good. I think Edison stood strong when he had to. The defence looks brilliant. And it's just, Man City's team is stacked. Haaland, Jack Grealish, Alvarez, Mahrez, Silva, Phillips, Gundogan, Rodri. This team is stacked. And I know they lost Sterling, but for me that doesn't matter to Man City. They just got that killer team. They've got that team who can just win pretty much everything, apart from the Champions League, which I think they could do this season. But we've got to look at Bournemouth and think, what a start. If they lose this game, they're still like, well, we've got 3 points out of possible 6. That's still a very good start. So well done to Bournemouth. They're going into this nothing to lose really, because they know they're probably going to lose. But we all heard of a shock, you know. There's loads of shocks. Nigeria nearly shocked Argentina. Loads of teams have been shocked, and I think Liverpool and Fulham, you know, we'll get on to that when they're both teams are named. But it's just brilliant to see that, you know, hopefully Bournemouth could actually pick up a result here, but they won't. I think it's mean to go above 6. I'm going to go 4-0 Man City. They've just got too much quality. Haaland's insane. They've got too much quality. You can't pick out one particular player. You've got to look at the whole team and think, wow, what a team. And they are a fantastic team. So Man City 4-0 for me. Moving on to Wolves, Fulham. What a game against Liverpool. You've got Liverpool, first game of the season. You're thinking, right, tough game. Now look at this Wolves game and think we have to win that. But no. The way they played at Liverpool, we'll just mention a few names. Mitrovic was absolutely fantastic. The press as well. You know, I was looking at Match of the Day, and when, you know, one Liverpool player passes the other, 4 players, bang, right on a Liverpool player, pressing, making Liverpool have to boot it, which then Fulham can gather the ball and move forward. And when they moved forward, they looked very promising and very good. You know, the passing plays were fantastic. The first goal, Mitrovic towering over Trent. Trent, I don't rate him as high as a defender. I think he's a very good attacker. I don't rate him as a defender. That's why I think Reece James should be right back. But, you know, Trent just wasn't looking. He just gave up, and Mitrovic just towered over him. It's just easy for Mitrovic. And I think this is the time. I think the Bournemouth manager now, I think he didn't play Mitrovic, and he didn't play to Mitrovic's strengths, and that's what you have to do. You have to play to Mitrovic's strengths. And I've literally forgotten his name. Steve Parker. That was it. My bad. But they got Marco Silva now, and he's just, you know, playing Mitrovic to his strengths and winning games and drawing games against big teams like Liverpool. Well done to Fulham. Wolves are disappointed 2-1 loss to Leeds. I think their managers had a fight at the end of the match, but yeah, not the start Wolves wanted. Can they bounce back with a win? I'm gonna go 1-1 draw. I don't see Wolves. I don't think Wolves are. I predict them 7th, but it's difficult with Wolves. I think they can be a strong side on their day. We've just got to look out for Wolves. You know, they can be a strong side. So, you know, one game can't deny anything, but they have to win this game against Fulham. Moving on to it's a difficult game to predict. Brentford versus Manchester United. Because what sort of United we're going to find? What sort of United are we going to find? I don't actually know. Man United, no, 2-1 loss to Brighton. They were shocking. Maguire, awful. If you want me to make a video about Maguire, just a personal thing about Maguire, why he should not be in England centre back, let me know in the comments. I'll make a rant. But yeah, it's shocking how Maguire is captain, let alone playing, just not captain. He can't be captain, surely. He's awful. He's dreadful. One of the worst captains I've seen in a while. You look back, there's captain centre backs, John Terry. It's just, you look at all these captains, Roy Keane. You know, they're just brilliant centre backs, and you know there's a lot more. And you look at United, they've got Harry Maguire. He can't defend. And Brentford, and it's horrible Brentford. They did get 2-2 draw against Leicester. They came back 2-2. Honestly, I can't predict this game. It's like it's a hard game to call. What Man United are going to come out? I'm going to go 2-1 Man United. I may look like a mug saying 2-1 Man United, but if they play Ronaldo, they will win. They were playing Varane. They were playing Maguire and their new sign. I forgot. Oh no. Mate, honestly. They're playing Maguire and Martinez. They're playing Maguire over Varane. That's amazing. They're playing Maguire over Varane. Playing a high line with Maguire. Ten Hag's got his tactics all wrong. 2-1 Man United though. I think Ronaldo will clutch up. Moving on to the next game, which is Nottingham Forest versus West Ham. Two teams lost last week. Two teams lost 2-0. Both teams in the relegation zone. West Ham, you know, it's a hard game going to Man City. At home to Man City, still a very hard game. And no, 2-0 loss isn't the worst. I think Forest is a tough first game into the season. Newcastle away is a tough match. I think West Ham is going to be a tough match where, you know, it's home. It's going to be an occasion and a half. They could pick up a result here. I'd highly doubt that, but they could pick up a result. You know, West Ham do look like a strong side, even though they did lose. They got Rice in there, Soucek, Antonio. They do look like a strong side. Ben Ram as well. They do look like a good side, but what West Ham have to do is just get this result out of the way. It's going to be a tough match, going to the city ground and getting a result. That's a tough match. I think they will. I'm going to go 2-1 West Ham. I think they can't look into that City game too much. It is City after all. And with Forest, they just did not really create all too many chances against Newcastle. It is Newcastle away, so you can't really look into that either. That is a strong side. Newcastle look very good. But I think Forest, if they can pick up a point here, I think they'll be very happy with that. But definitely a game to watch out for. For me, one of the best games of the game week, Chelsea versus Tottenham, the London derby. Well, North London derby, it is a London derby. Tottenham first, Chelsea 8th. Both teams winning last week. Tottenham, on the other hand, though, 4-1 winners over Southampton is absurd. Fantastic. So posh. Brilliant goal though from Ward-Prowse. You can't deny that. It's a lovely goal from Ward-Prowse. But Tottenham are just fantastic. Kulusevski is fantastic. He's one of the players to watch out for. Son is as well. Kane is. I think Kane and Son had a bit of a stinker last week. Apart from Son's cross into Eric Dyer was absolutely brilliant. I think this game could go either way. I think Chelsea did not look all too convincing. A penalty won them the game against Everton. Sterling had a chance, brilliantly blocked. Mount had a chance, good save. I think it was going wide, but Pickford didn't know that, so he started to make the save. And Chelsea did not look awful, so I'm going to give them a little bit of time. I'm going to go 2-1 Tottenham. I think Tottenham have a little bit more quality about them. Their new signings in Perisic and all that, I think they do look like a strong side, Tottenham. And I think, you know, I did put Chelsea 5th. So I think they're missing out on Champions League and they have to beat Tottenham. Let's see that. Moving on to the last game, Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. A fascinating game. I think Liverpool they're a decent side, Liverpool. They're a very good side, Liverpool, but last week they were dreadful. I think they went into the Fulham game thinking, oh, it's a free win. It's not a win. You've got to go there and win it. You can't just drop off because it's Fulham. Liverpool did not play their best, and you can argue with me, but they did not play their best. I think it could go down to the way Fulham played, but even that, you know, Liverpool have the quality, and the quality showed in the end with Darwin Núñez. Absolutely fantastic signing. A goal and an assist on his Premier League debut. Salah got a goal as well, very neat, tidy finish. But Palace is you know, an Arsenal at home. It's a tough game, even at home. I think they did well to keep it down to 2-0. I think Arsenal had a good enough chances to make it more, but you know, and we'll have to make it. Have to win this 2-0 Liverpool. So, you know, will be a strong start. And yeah, that wraps up the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and see you guys in the next one. Peace out.